And we're back. Another edition of Draw Along with Dan. I'm cartoonist Dan Lietha. Welcome. Today we're going to be drawing day number 4 of Dinosaur Week. And actually in this screenshot right here, there's a little hint as to what, well, you probably saw it in the title already, but there's the little guy, actually the reference that we're going to feature in this video. And it's right... Let's see if I can get my hand to line up. Right there. There we go. If you see it down there, that's the actual model that I used for today's reference. And I mean, how can you have a dinosaur week without doing Stegosaurus, right? So there it is, and let's get drawing. Now I'm going to break this down to a lesser extent than I have done in the past. So we'll go quicker over the breakdown of the shapes and such. And then I'm going to do something a little different with Stegosaurus. One, because he's so complicated, it could take more than a half hour to draw, just the complexity of the plates on the back. But I want to challenge us to caricature this creature a bit. Quite a bit, actually. And what we're going to do is we're going to convert him into a circle body, a sphere, more of a perfectly round sphere, and build him around that. So that's the attempt today. Now, the body shape is basically an oval, something like that. And then, of course, you've got the triangle tail that comes off. Now the tail is closer to the top, of course, so it's positioned so I think it can swing it back and forth. And then the attach point for the leg, like that, goes down to there. And then it just gets thinner and thinner as it goes down to right about here. And then we've got our foot. The other leg looks kind of odd because you only see the foot poking out back there. You don't see anything here, but then the attach point for this is right here. Go down, and that's the thickness of that leg. And then this one is kind of poking out like that too, just a little bit. Now the head goes up like that. What we could do is draw like a circle here and then draw the rest of it. He's got his mouth open, which isn't bad. Little eyebrow ridge, little eye, and then the top of the neck, bottom of the neck. It's a very short little neck, at least on this this model. Now, the tough part is the plates. So let's start by doing this, just to get the placement. Okay, so there's the placement, and then go up and around, go up and around, up and around. And sometimes what you could do too is like draw the base part so you know where to start and stop. That would help too. But they've got a kind of a different shape to them. All right, and then part of the complexity is there's two sides to it. So there's like another layer. There's not just one row of them. There's 2 rows, and they kind of alter. So, and then the spikes on the back. So there's the attach points. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go down. So, okay, there's the basic breakdown of our Stegosaurus. And as we usually do, we'll take that, reduce that down a bit, and then make our main reference go away and bring in our reduced version of that. Adjust the screen a bit here. And now the fun to build this Stegosaurus around a circle, because the body there is already an oval, so maybe it's not distorting it that much, but I think we could get a bit of a different result here if we go for the circle, go for the sphere. So I'm going to fix my screen here just a second. There we go. All right, let's go for that circle. I was going to bring out my circle tool and make a perfect one, but we'll just draw one. It won't be perfect, but I think it'll be close enough. Make sure I'm on the right layer. There we go. All right, a circle. Something in that neighborhood right there. Okay. So again, oval over here, circle over here. So where would the tail go? The tail would go like that. And then, so it's way up in the air because we've changed the shape. Now the head, the neck would come out like that. We can exaggerate things a bit. And you know what? I'm going to enlarge that, make that bigger. This is a cartoon. Let's go for cute. And cute usually has a large head with big eyes. So we can do that in our rough sketch. Thicken up that neck. And then the other funny thing that you can do too is to make the feet closer together. Well, we're going to have to, but there's leg number one, the front. And then I'll give them bigger feet. Kind of bell-bottom legs there. And then these, the back leg is going to be huge. Go something like this. That's the base of it right there. The knee. And then the big thigh. We'll see how this circle-based, sphere-based Stegosaurus works. And then the other prominent feature, again, looking for features that stand out, that make things unique so that you can caricature from them, is the plates and the spikes on the tail too. So let me move this guy down a little bit. Give us some room up on top. All right. Now, as I said before, I'm going to draw like a center line for a lot of these plates. And I'm not going to do the same exact number of plates because I don't think there's enough room. And then the spikes will go up like this. Oops. Let's make that tail a little longer and thicker too. So it's a more stocky, chunky looking Stegosaurus. Stegospherus. I don't know. Oh, and then we got the other feet too. So the other foot's back here. And then this one comes out. This one's kind of funny because this leg goes back. So it goes back and then forward a little bit. And this one, it looks like it's, well, I guess the toe, this part is just aimed forward. So that's how that works. It just looks a little funny to me right there. There we go. Well, that foot should go down a little bit more. Try to line it up. These two back ones should line up because they're both on the ground. Well, maybe this one's, he's kind of picking that one up. I'm going to make them on the ground. Eraser out. I could just fix it in the inking stage, but sometimes I like to settle some of that in the sketch phase. It just helps the inking be more accurate. Although this is pretty loose. And then you got these toes. Big Stegosaurus toenails. Hey, it's got big plates. Why not big toenails too, right? There we go. This kind of looks like I've got some toys in my collection of dinosaurs that I collect them because they're so creatively designed. Very caricatured, cartoon, extreme, funny. There's a Triceratops that I have that's one of my favorites, and it's just very, very extremely caricatured. And I don't play with it. It just sits there and looks very cool. It makes me smile. Okay, circle Stegosaurus. And then I'm going to pick a different color here just to help me out a little bit because I've got so much red. Let's go for a blue. And I'm just doing that for the base of the plates because I want to know where it starts and stops. We've established the positioning with those lines, and now I'm drawing a baseline. So, and that's the you can draw that. That's where the tail spikes are coming out. All right, back to red, and we're going to go up and around, and then they get progressively bigger. And the other thing too that's kind of funny about the shape of the Stegosaurus plates is they seem to like lean back, at least on this one. Some you see they're symmetrical, same front and back, but this one, it kind of like the wind's blowing really hard and it's blowing them back a little bit. And that back one right here is more of the flavor that I've seen them. It's more symmetrical. And that one kind of leans back too. All right, and then the spikes on the back. Now we're going to do the second row. I'll go back and do that, but the spikes. I don't know if you're familiar with cartoonist Gary Larson, who did the Far Side cartoon, but he had a cartoon where he had some like cavemen talking about Stegosaurus, which I don't appreciate the primitive quality of the cavemen, but they were still like humans with dinosaurs, which I appreciated. People got on his case for, hey, that's not true, but I think it is. Anyway, so these guys were talking about a Stegosaurus. I think it killed one of their guys. It was a funny cartoon anyway, but they somehow the Thagomizer, because the Stegosaurus had killed their friend Thag, they called it a Thagomizer or the tail of the Stegosaurus, they called it a Thagomizer. And somehow that made its way into science, and I forget what the whole story is, but some scientists loved that cartoon, and so they made use out of the Thagomizer, or Thag. I think they attached that to one of the species of Stegosaurus or something. So cartoonists can make a difference in science. All right, just trying to figure out where the plates would go in the back. Guess I could watch the... and that's another thing scientists are trying to figure out. Did they go side by side, or were they staggered type of thing? So something to figure out. Always something to think about. And you see illustrations and you think, oh, they figured that out, but then you see a different illustration and it looks different. It's because there's a lot of guesswork in the illustrations. They have to fill in a lot of blanks. There's our Stegosaurus. All right, let's knock that back. The opacity. I kind of like this. It's kind of fun exercise. And I need a layer to ink upon. And I'm going to go kind of fast here, so trying to draw along with me. You're going to have to do a lot of starting and stopping of the video. And where am I going to start? Let's start with that front shoulder here, just to build out from that. I always like to just pick a spot and go for it. So now I am looking at my reference a little bit here. So and that other arm, it's got a little elbow right there. And again, for the toes, you've seen me do this before. I like to kind of get the shape of the point where they connect to the foot, and then that allows you to draw the rest of the toe in. So got a little thing right there. And then let's draw some creases on the top of the foot too, because that just helps communicate more of the shape. And then look how much belly there is on the reference. There's not much on here because it's a circle. So continue that there, and I'm going to go back up to the chest, neck area. And then I like to draw some wrinkle marks right there where the head attaches to the neck. Let's go down there, up. And then the nose ridge. Now, Stegosauruses apparently have like a beak type of thing, like Triceratops. There's some other dinosaurs that have beaks on them, or some bony mouth area. So does that mean that they're related to birds? Nope. Birds. Here, let's have some fun and put his tongue out. Maybe he's like yelling at somebody or something. He's warning someone, stay away. I'll swing my tail at you. But the Bible tells us that birds were created before dinosaurs. Land animals, dinosaurs, created on day 6. Birds, flying things, were created. Put that mean eye on there again, like he's warning somebody. Birds were created, flying creatures were created on day 5, the day before. So the Bible is very, very helpful in helping us figure things out if we will trust it and believe it and study it. Down here for that big other back side of the thigh. It's got kind of like a calf area there. And then following the circle up. And then I'm going to draw some, because you kind of see some like wrinkle lines right there at the base of the tail. And I want the tip of the tail to stick out a little bit past where that one spike is. So I'm going to draw that spike in. And then I want the tail to come out right there. Otherwise it was kind of hidden there and kind of confusing with all the similar type shapes there. Another spike. And the top of the tail. And the other spikes stick out from the back, the other side of that tail. So one thing to keep in mind when drawing the spikes is that those 2 spikes should almost make like a circle or an oval between the 2 of them so that they look lined up. So that's something to check. Do they do that? And these are pretty okay, I think. And then the other thing is do the excuse me. I'm going to draw the plates in before I draw the back line, because I think the horizon of the back line, the line of the back, the front plates intersect that or are in front of it. So it's important to know what's in front of what. And here's the almost symmetrical one, or a little more symmetrical, although it's on the tail, so it's still kind of leaning back. Oops. Where was it going with that one? All right, so then each of those has its attach point to the Stegosaurus. Which will try to keep them sort of lined up too. Although this one looks a little wonky. Might have to change that a bit. There, okay. And then I'll finish the back line for the back of the Stegosaurus. Again, trying to keep that lined up. So visually it looks like it connects. Down, and then these plates right here, same thing. Got the attach point. And then just that one right there. And that comes up. Attaches to the back. Ooh, something you'll notice that's something I usually don't do is I try to stay away from finishing the eyes until afterwards. And I've gone ahead and done that on this guy already. So I've broken my pattern. Now again, the plates look kind of empty. And I think they need a little texture to help give them solid feel. So I know on a lot of plates I've seen artists draw this sort of thing, and you can sort of see it on the reference there, where there's these structure lines to like there's a big center one, and then it kind of comes down and fans out a bit. So I'm kind of following the shape of the plate, and there we go. I want to draw like an attach base part of that where it goes into the tail. I think that helps connect it. A couple little fold lines here. And then, oh, I've got some shadows that I should put into. Shadow. With the leg would be casting a shadow on the body. And that's it for that. Let's draw in those. Oh, the rear leg. Didn't do that at all yet. Or the rear foot. This one in front. There. And then sometimes for the toes, I like to do the same thing with the line work, just to give it a little more shape. And then the idea that it's a different texture than the rest of the dinosaur, that those are bony toenails type of thing. And then we'll go up like that. Toenail comes out. And then it's the back foot, so I want to make a lot of shadow on that. And that's kind of poking out, so I won't darken the whole thing. And then do the toenail texture. Just a couple lines on all of them. I can't really see that one. And then, oh, you know what? The back plates probably would have some shadow on them too, so I'm going to go ahead and do this sort of a thing. Actually, there might be some thickness there too, but give that some stand out. Make the plates in the front stand out more. Drew like an edge on there too. Oops. That one was way off. Now this plate is behind, but it kind of separates more than these do. So, and then maybe a little feel of some muscle there. Stegosaurus probably had very strong legs, those back legs. That was the bicep in a sense for the tail to be swinging around. So give a feel for some more roundness, and some of the tail too. And then let's set this guy on the ground. So he's, in fact, I want to do that on a different layer. Sometimes I'll add elements, even inking one figure. I'll put some details on a different layer. If it doesn't work out, then you just throw the layer away. And it makes it easier than inking, kind of committing to adding lines to your artwork already that it works really well. And then I could put this stuff in and go, I don't like it. And then it would be a chore to try to erase some of these lines that are overlapping some of the inks that I've done. So there, it's a bit of, you know what? I want to go with more of a crosshatch look because I think that would make better sense out of my lines. And I love the crosshatch. I've already got some cross-hatching on the Stegosaurus anyway, so this is more consistent with that. So there he is, and maybe he's bellowing, making some sort of Stegosaurus cry. Oh, stay away. So there we are with those lines. Okay, Stegosaurus in the round. Let me know what you think, and let's draw my name. I try not to draw names and stuff right underneath the tail end of animals, just because it's just an awkward spot to put your name. So we finish our drawings by putting our name on them. So danlietha.com. And there we have our Stegosaurus for the day. So I hope you had fun. Oh, you know what? I need to take the sketch off of that so we can see the. Here, let me back out. There, you can see. You can see without me in there too. So there's our Stegosaurus for the day. I hope you had fun drawing the Stegosaurus, a Stegocirclesaurus, a Stegospherus, whatever you want to call it. Vote for one. Put them in the comments. And join me next time for Draw Along with Dan. Have a good day.